the only time that you hear about Afghanistan is when you talk about women's rights or security issues. And that to me sounds like a great injustice to this country of millions of people, which has a lot to offer. I'm Osama Bin Javaid, a correspondent, and between us, although the world seems to have forgotten about Afghanistan, I went there to see what is happening beyond the headlines. Afghanistan is a land of contrasts. It's a land of challenges. It's a land of adventures. And whoever goes to Afghanistan has one story that they would probably remember for the rest of their lives. The first time I landed in Afghanistan after the Taliban takeover to see all of those Islamic Emirate flags and the people who the government forces had been fighting for so many years take charge. Now it has become routine. It's normal. Conventional wisdom is that when you go to Afghanistan, you'll see poverty, you see women who are oppressed, and you'd see a lot of guns on the streets. Although you cannot take away from the fact that a lot of Afghans, a majority of them, live below the poverty line. There are a lot of people who are struggling to put food on the table, but they're not the only aspect of Afghanistan. There is an Afghanistan that is beyond that as well. There's a minority which continues to do its business. There is an expanding carpets industry. There is pine nuts that are being exported. Even fizzy drinks from Afghanistan have found a market not just in Central Asia, but one company is exporting it to 28 countries. The municipality of Kabul is actually pretty much in shape, and it's taking care of the city. So the biggest issue in Afghanistan, which is on everyone's mind, is what happens to my daughter when she goes to secondary school. A colleague's daughter has been crying for the last 2.5 years because she sees her brother go to school every day and she cannot. My colleague explained this to me, that how do you feel as a father if your daughter was not able to go to school? And that is a very difficult question to answer, because as fathers, you can't imagine that, one fine day your children won't be able to go to school. It's not just an academic question, but it is a question on how these girls will be brought up as well, how they will see and find themselves in society. Will they be able to see themselves in the mirror as confident, equal citizens of this country, being able to do all the jobs that they want? Or are they going to be suppressed into a second-tier member of society who are not even able to get the education that they want? The government and the Taliban, which calls itself the Islamic Emirate, put restrictions on women, on which professions they can go to, on how universities would be able to admit them in, and how they will go about in everyday life. So that is another big question mark that every woman who I spoke to has about what happens to women in this country. It's a big dilemma for the people who are left there, who want to stay in Afghanistan, who are thinking that there is going to be a future in Afghanistan, who hope that by this change of security situation, there is a light at the end of the tunnel and things might change for the better. An activist who I met, somebody who graduated from the American university, and I asked her, why hasn't she left Afghanistan? And she was surprised at the question, and she said, this is my country. It doesn't matter who are the people who are in charge. It is up to us to make this country what it becomes in the future. I remember getting out of Afghanistan. We got to the airport, it had been snowing in Kabul, and the flight was cancelled. But I had another deployment that I had to be on, so I decided that I am going to finish off this journey by going by road. There's falling rocks, too much traffic, there is speeding drivers. This is a road which is notorious for a traffic accident in the best of conditions. It dawned on me on how everyday life in Afghanistan, people who have to do this on a daily basis, people who have to do this for work, every time they have to go to the doctor or to come to the city, essentially face a life and death battle on those roads. So it was snowy, it was difficult, there was a lot of traffic, but we did make it in time.